Yo, what is up guys? It is Samool back again with another Should You Pull video for Epic 7, and today we're going to be talking about the Mystic banner that will be running after Sylvan Sage Vivian's banner ends. Now for Sylvan Sage Vivian guys, if you guys are wondering if she's worth pulling for, she is a new unit and she's very fun to use, especially if you like playing bruiser comps in World Arena. But for the most part guys, I don't think she's a must pull. It's not like she's an unbeatable hero. She's definitely decent, but I don't think she's like anything super overpowered. That being said, she is a waifu though, so if you guys want to pull for the waifu factor, be my guest. But yeah, that being said, let's talk about the banners coming after her. So we have a triple banner coming up after Sylvan Sage Vivian. Because they are rerunning old units, they're going to give you a option to choose one of the three and pull for them. And we also have a new Moonlight 4-star unit in Moon Bunny Dominiel, which we'll also talk about after I talk about all of the 3 ML 5-star units you can actually pull for. That being said, if you guys aren't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button to get updates when I have videos like this release. And also make sure you guys follow me on Twitch because we are live streaming recently, playing some World Arena, answering all of your questions, and also trying out some other gacha games that are coming out very soon, which seem very, very fun. So that being said, let's start with Silver Blade Aramintha. So she is a very, very control heavy unit. As you see, her S3 is an AoE attack that has burn effects. She can also stun, CR push. She has a CR push for herself whenever you have an ally use an AoE attack. Her S1 is another chance to burn, and she also has a secondary attack that can attack all enemies and also burn and CR push. So you're going to see she's very, very burn heavy. Now the problem is that in the current state of the game, control is very hard to play. Anything that really relies on landing debuffs like Silver Blade Aramintha, even Fire Aramintha, even like Dizzy, stuff like that, is very hard to use because of the fact that there are so many high effect resist units running around. Also, there are a lot of cleanser. Also, the fact that she's a mage means that she's pretty squishy. So if you don't guarantee the first turn, she's pretty much going to die in one hit. You basically have to somewhat cleave with her in a sense, and there's no point in using her over regular standard cleavers because of the fact that she kind of relies on her debuffs landing to actually cleave, which can always get resisted, whereas cleavers just need to do damage, right? So Silver Blade Aramintha guys, I think she really needs another buff. She did get buffed in the past, but I think she needs another one. There is not really any situation where she's like viable in my opinion. I think she's more of a for fun unit, but it is not fun using her a lot of the times because there's just a lot of stars that need to align for her kit to work. So I think Silver Blade Aramintha is one of the 3 units, or one of the units that you definitely want to skip on this banner. You definitely do not want to pull for her. If you guys love her though and love burning people, then sure, I guess. But personally, I would not pull for her. Next, we have Desert Jewel Basar. So Desert Jewel Basar actually recently got a buff, and he actually really surprised me. He's actually pretty decent in my opinion. You're going to see he has a cleanse, he has immunity buff for his team, he can also CR push his team by 20%, and when this skill is on cooldown, you're actually going to take less damage. So very, very cool. You're going to see his S2 is also very powerful. It is a rare, he is a rare unit because most ML 5-stars have a passive in their S2, not an active ability, but he has an active ability which is a 4-turn ability, and it is a AoE attack that has a chance to actually put barrier inversion and also decrease hit chance, right? And when the target is granted a barrier, he also grants himself an extra turn. So this is a unique debuff in a sense. Barrier inversion is basically going to convert barriers into damage. It was primarily designed to kind of counter Hwayang, but it doesn't really work in that way. But it is a cool debuff, I guess. Not really a debuff, but a ability. Next, we have his S1, chance to stun, really annoying, and then it has an AoE heal. It's very, very cool because you're going to see that the amount you recover is going to be proportional to the target's max HP and the caster's attack, which is very interesting. Desert Jewel Basar, guys, he seems like he's going to be used to like counter like Hwayangs and stuff like that and be very aggressive, but he's only really used as a counter to Payra at the moment, especially in World Arena. Because he's so niche, even though his kit looks really cool, I think for now it's safe to say that you guys are probably gonna want to avoid pulling for him as well because of the fact that he's so specialized. And honestly, maybe he'll be a lot better in the future, but for now, the most common usage is going to be against Payras as a counter pick. Otherwise, like, you're not gonna really see him too much. If he's used in other situations, there's probably going to be other units that are better than him in that situation. So yeah, very niche unit, but he's very fun to use and his kit is very interesting, but I would recommend skipping. Now we have the last unit, Fallen Cecilia. Fallen Cecilia, guys, ever since her buff a long time ago, she has been a powerhouse knight. right? She has that S3, which is an AoE attack. This actually does pretty decent damage. It also will give everyone a skill nullifier. AoE skill nullifier is actually crazy. You can see her S2 is that barrier that everyone gets at the start of battle, and every time she takes a turn, she'll give a barrier to the ally with the lowest HP, and this barrier scales with her own HP, so it's very common to see Fallen Cecilia's completely stacked with health, and she just gives a really thick barrier to her team. S1, you guys probably already know what it does as well. Very annoying mistake, I agree. It is a mistake to give this S1 a 100% chance to provoke. Super annoying, makes her very good at locking down targets. So yeah, Fallen Cecilia, guys, she's not as good as before. Before, she was like first picked all the time in World Arena. She was in every single arena defense team, every single Guild Wars defense team. Nowadays, you still see her a lot, especially in Guild Wars defense and arena defense, but in World Arena, she is kind of weaker than another knight right now, Adventurer Ross, who is easily accessible, easier to build and stuff like that. But she's still very good. Now keep in mind, she does have some counters still. Operator Sigrid kind of blows her out of the water, and Operator Sigrid is very strong right now because Operator Sigrid also counters Hwayang, which you guys probably already know is the best unit in the game for PvP. Tied for the best probably between like 1 or 2 other units, so that makes her a little bit harder to use. She's also countered by like Little Queen Charlotte. She's even bad against Hwayang herself, which is a very popular pick. So you have to be very careful in using Fallen Cecilia nowadays, especially in World Arena. But you can always still use her in defense teams, and even if you are lacking a knight or for some reason you guys don't have your AROS built, Fallen Cecilia is always a safe pick anyways. She's just very strong. Her mitigation is very good. Just make sure when you pick her in World Arena, guys, you end up banning that LQC or that Operator Sigrid that comes out, because you're going to be in a world of pain if you guys leave those units open for your team to face if you have Fallen Cecilia on your team. But yeah, still very good unit, guys. I think if you're going to pull for one of these units, I would pull for Fallen Cecilia. And before, like in the past, if this banner came out, I'd say Fallen Cecilia is a must pull. But since she has kind of fallen a little bit down in the tier list, especially for PvP, I think that she's going to be not as strong and probably not as much of a must pull anymore, especially because Adventurer Ross is just so good. And yeah, there's not really a point in pulling her in my opinion. Honestly, you might as well put Adventurer Ross in your defense teams and it'll probably be a little bit better because he has less counters. Also, tied in with the fact that, if you guys did not know, for this World Arena season, or RTA season, we are getting the Apocalypse Ravi skin, which means that Apocalypse Ravi will also be running in the near future, and Apocalypse Ravi is definitely the top tier unit that you guys are looking for from a Mystic banner. She's definitely at the top of the PvP tier list for everything, so you definitely are going to want to save your Mystics for her, especially if you're far away from Pity. So honestly, I think you guys should skip all 3 of these. If you guys really wanted to pull for one though, I think Fallen Cecilia is your best bet because she's a very strong unit. It's just that Apocalypse Ravi is just that much better. So yeah, for me personally, I'm going to be holding off, even though I already have Fallen Cecilia, right? That's it for the ML 5 stars, guys. Now let's talk about Moon Bunny Dominiel. So Moon Bunny Dominiel, new unit, right? So very interesting kit. Her S3 is an AoE attack buff that CR pushes, and will also give her a skill nullifier, and it's only a 3-turn cooldown when you mull it. 20% CR push for your team is very good as well. You're also going to see her S2, passive effect resist, right? You're also going to see at the start of an enemy's turn, or enemy's extra turn. So this is going to work on Conquer Helios S3, Ran S2, Spectre Tenebria Soulburn, right? Landy Soulburn. You're going to grant immunity and a barrier to all allies, and this barrier will increase proportional to the caster's max HP. And this can only be activated once every 2 turns, and only activates on the enemy's extra turn, right? Her S1 is going to be a single target attack that can put an enemy to sleep. Does not proc dual attack because otherwise you would wake them up, obviously. You can Soulburn this for only 10 souls to have a 100% chance, right? So honestly, I think her S3 is pretty cool. Attack buff, CR push. This will make her pretty popular for cleavers because she has a very high base speed for a soul leaver. I think it's like 114 or something like that. Something in like the mid 110s, the teens, right? Very good. I think she's going to be a very popular pick for cleavers because she also counters like some of the answers to cleave, right? Sometimes people will pick fast units to actually counter cleave, such as like Conquer Helios, and she does a pretty good job at countering Conquer Helios because she stops that attack down buff from going on your team. The only problem with her kit though, guys, is that even though Conquer Helios's attack down gets countered here, Conquer Helios still gives vigor to her team, which is like the biggest reason why she's so good. Vigor is just so strong. Also, like the extra turn is kind of made to also counter like Ran and counter cleave, but Ran doesn't really get countered by this because Ran can just strip this after his S2. Like Ran will S2, this will proc, give everyone immunity and barrier, and he just strips it with his S3, right? So interesting. Para also doesn't get countered by this either, right? So it's very interesting. I don't know if this is good because Para will just S3 herself, right? And not S2. I think her kit is a little weird. Her S1's interesting, some control as like built in, but it's going to be hard to build her on effectiveness just because you're probably going to build her on very high health and even like effect resist, right? And very high speed as well. I think, you know, she's going to be used mostly as a cleave unit, which is very interesting because she's kind of made to counter cleave. But Smilegate like does this thing where they try to make units counter cleave, but it just ends up being a cleave unit. For example, like Politis, right? Politis is also an example of that unit. So I think Moon Bunny Dominiel, interesting kit. I don't think she's like super broken. She's definitely not Angel of Light level, but you're definitely going to want to keep your eyes out for her and see how she does. If she ends up being super broken, maybe it's worth pulling on the 4-star pity, right? Where you can pull for the 4-star unit, and if you pull the 5-star in accident, you don't reset your pity. But for now, I think that she's not like that broken. I think she's a pretty cool unit. I think she'll be definitely good into Conqueror somewhat, but I don't think she's going to be like a super hard counter or anything like entirely broken like the last ML 4-star Angel of Light Angelica. So I think, you know, this entire banner, guys, if you guys don't have Apocalypse Ravi, then you guys definitely are going to want to save and probably pull for her because Apocalypse Ravi, guys, is like so broken right now. And I know a lot of you guys are going to say, oh, she has counters, but no. Apocalypse Ravi, you never know what stat line she's on. You never know, you know, what artifact she's on. She's just a really safe pick, so I think you guys should definitely save for that banner. That being said, guys, I hope you guys found this video helpful and also helped you guys deciding whether you guys want to pull or not. And also make sure you guys follow my Twitch, like I said at the start of the video, because I do plan to stream a lot. I'm going to be playing a lot of Epic 7, a lot of World Arena, gearing, you know, crafting, answer all your questions and stuff like that, and probably play some like Tower of Fantasy or something when that drops if you guys are playing as well. I think that'll be very fun. And I hope to see you guys in my stream, and I hope to see you guys in my next video as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.